Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to talk about something pretty radical happening in higher education over in China. It's a brand new type of doctorate, and it's less about writing theoretical papers and way more about actually building the future. The big question is, could this be the new blueprint for creating a whole new generation of innovators?
Okay, so to really get why China's new approach is such a big deal, we've got to look at what it's trying to change. The good old traditional PhD. The Doctor of Philosophy, the PhD, was first awarded way back in 1810. And honestly, for more than 200 years, the basic idea hasn't really changed all that much. Now, it served academia incredibly well, but now people are starting to ask, is it really the best way to train the problem solvers we need for the 21st century?
You know the drill, right? You get into a university, you work with one professor, you do some new academic research, you write and publish a bunch of theoretical papers, and then you defend your big thesis. It's all about academic theory. And China looked at this and thought, you know what? To really compete on the world stage, we need something more practical, something that can directly power up our industries and our tech.
And that's where this whole new idea comes in. They decided to build something totally different. A new model that wasn't just designed for thinking, but for doing.
They call it the product PhD, and yeah, the name pretty much says it all. The final exam, it's not a paper. It's an actual, tangible, real-world invention that solves a real problem. And to see what this looks like in the real world, just check out the very first person to graduate from this program, Zhang Hui. His final project wasn't some dusty thesis, it was an incredible product, these Lego-like steel blocks that let you build massive bridges faster than ever. And this isn't just a concept, his design is already being put to work on the Yangtze River.
And believe me, this isn't just a one-off thing. The program is already pumping out real solutions for critical industries. We're talking everything from new welding techniques to super advanced firefighting gear. Basically, the whole system is built to go after the big problems that industry is grappling with right now.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how on earth did China pull this off? I mean, it's not just about changing the final project, right? You have to change the entire educational system from the ground up. And here's the absolute game changer, the dual supervisor system. Think about it. Normally, you've got one academic supervisor who helps you find, theoretical gaps in research. But in China's new model, you still get that professor, but you also get an industry supervisor. The two of them actually work together to give you a real-world problem to solve. So from day one, industry's needs are baked right into the research. And let's be clear, this is not just some small tweak to the education system. This is a core part of China's national strategy. The whole point is to quickly create a whole army of experts in modern tech, and they're laser-focused on areas where they know they need to catch up, like semiconductors and AI. So does it actually work? Well, you don't have to guess. The numbers speak for themselves. Let's just take a look at what one university, Tsinghua University, has managed to do in just 3 years. All right, first up, in that short time, they've signed on 56 different corporate partners. From those partnerships, you've got over 1,400 graduates who have delivered real, actual solutions to real-world problems.
And maybe the most impressive part, their work has led to over 100 brand new patents. I mean, that is just a powerhouse of innovation right there.
So what's driving all this?
Well, it all comes down to a really fundamental shift in how they think about learning. It's about completely redefining what the very peak of education should be.
To really get this shift, there's this classic framework in education, you might have heard of it, called Bloom's taxonomy. It's basically a ladder of learning. You start at the bottom with just remembering facts, and you climb all the way up, level by level, to the highest form of thinking, creating something totally new and original. Now, the source material we looked at makes a really interesting point here. It argues that a lot of education systems today are kind of stuck on the bottom rungs of that ladder. They're all about memorizing stuff and just understanding concepts. With this new program, China has decided to skip all that and aim straight for the very top. The new rule is simple, even if it's unwritten. If you don't create, you don't graduate, period. Okay, so this laser focus on creation leads to a really fascinating question. Could this model be a blueprint for other developing nations? The source material takes a close look at what this could mean for a country like Pakistan.
Just consider this for a second. Pakistan already produces a huge number of PhDs, about 3,000 every 2 years. Think about that. That's a massive amount of brain power just waiting to be unlocked.
Which leads to this really powerful what-if question. What if all of that intellectual firepower wasn't just going into academic papers? What if it was being aimed directly at solving the country's biggest challenges and building the industries of the future? I mean, just think about the potential impact here. You could take all that talent and point it directly at the country's biggest industry problems. You could spark domestic innovation, line up education with what the economy actually needs, and build a whole new generation of inventors, all while relying less on foreign tech. The possibilities are huge.
And really, that leaves us with one last big question to think about. A product PhD could absolutely revolutionize universities, for sure. But maybe, just maybe, the real work has to start much, much earlier. To create the inventors of tomorrow, do we need to completely rethink how we teach creativity and problem-solving in the schools of today? And that's a question that any country that's serious about its future has to start asking itself.